Welcome into the Oklahoman's video studio. I'm Dave Morris alongside Mike Knopp. He's the executive director of the Oklahoma City Boathouse Foundation. You know, this whole time we're chatting, my phone doesn't ring until we get started, and then it rings. Good to see you. Happy spring break.
Great to see you. Happy spring break.
You know, you guys were going to open this past weekend, and this entire year, 2017 of all things, we had fantastic weather. It chilled off a little bit this weekend, right?
To say the least, yeah. It was a little bit of a washout Saturday and chilly Sunday, but you know, we did have people come out and and tried to make the best of it. But that's Oklahoma weather. You never know. That's part of the nature of the game. It looks like later this week it's going to really improve, and but yeah, it's part of being an outdoor venue is you have to deal with the uncertainties of the weather. But we were ready to go. I tell you, it looked
you were
great.
ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, you posted a picture on Facebook of just how good it looks right now, and there's the photo right there. I'm assuming that is your drone and your photo.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're really good at the drone stuff. But what are we looking at here?
This is looking up from closer to I-35, but obviously we're looking west, and we're looking over the bottom pool, and the pumps are not on, so the two whitewater channels, at least to a certain point, are dry. But you can see where we impound all that water in the bottom pool, and then when the pumps go on, that water lowers, and the water gets sent down the channels. But you can see how much clearer the water is.
It looks great.
Than it was last year, and to the point when you really right up next to it, you can see. Kind of one of our measures is last year. Looking down at the steps and at the bottom, it was hard to see because we have all that dust that was churned up. But you can see all the way down the steps. You can see the rapid blocks, and then when those pumps come on, the water comes out. It's very clear. It's despite how chilly it was, the water looked really inviting over the weekend.
We were talking before we got started here about how the pumps work and how the water recedes, and I guess I never really thought about when you guys have the pumps on and when you don't, but you turn them off at night typically. Yeah,
absolutely. We turn them off. They're on during our hours of operation, but we do turn them off, and that it allows us to make adjustments to the rapid blocks in the evening or when they're not on, and obviously it helps conserve the energy and the power and so it's something that we just manage with each day of operations.
So typically that water does recede like we were seeing there into that main channel versus the two.
Yeah, what's kind of neat about it is the way our center is configured, we did this intentionally. So when you come in, you will always see water when you come in versus other similar venues around the world. Sometimes you see a bare channel. In ours, in front of the restaurant, in front of the main building, it's all this really pretty big blue body of water. And it's just more when the water is not on, the pumps are not on, the water's at a higher level. And in fact, because of that, because it's a gigantic pool. I mean, 8.2 million gallons of water. We're going to figure out more ways to activate what we call the flat water before the white water turns on. During music events this summer, we might have inner tubes that get thrown out there, doing different types of team building activities in the bottom pool. Raft races, all kinds of things that we can do. And so it's just like it's a gigantic pool. And so, but to see it clear like that, it really was gratifying. I know for our staff who'd been out there, John Riggs, I'll call him out, our director of operations, and his team, power washing all winter long and some cold weather and over the weekends. And it really pays off. It paid off. And now it's a matter of, even when the water turns on, it'll stir. We get blown in dust, and now we can allow our filtration system to do the work and help keep it clean. We're starting at a much different position than we were last year.
Yeah. Well, lots of things to talk about. You have some social media promotions going on. You have some spring break stuff. You have the corporate rafting and rowing leagues. Let's just start with perhaps some social media.
Sure. Well, I think if people would just stay tuned to our social media feeds, Facebook, and we're going to be doing promotions all week long for spring break to encourage people to come out. Yes, it's a little chillier today, but you come out and in fact we saw people over the weekend who braved the cooler weather, and they got all geared up, and we provided at no cost. We didn't over the weekend because it was so cold, and it was just their splash jacket, their pants, they looked all bundled up, and you know what? They had a blast. It kind of adds another layer of adventure, when you're doing that. And so we're going to be doing some of that, but other types of promotions throughout the week. And so we're going to make it a fun week. We have a lot going on, some new things to see, and then we have our our spring break camps going on as well.
You know, you mentioned new things to see. There's some detail that you guys went into: flooring, food. Those are perhaps what you would think, that's not that big of a deal, but it actually kind of is a big deal.
Yeah, for our operation it is. I mean, it's, we're still in that break-in phase of this brand new, it hasn't even been open a year, and so we redid all the flooring in the Whitewater building itself. It looks beautiful. We're reworking our food options, and that's underway as we speak, and we're going to be doing a lot of promotions in the evening to encourage people, what a cool place to come after work to just hang out. And we're going to be doing specials all season long in the evening to encourage that kind of thing. So that's something to look out for. Everything is looking really good. So
we have Greg Singleton in the booth. He is producing the segment this morning. He was among those who participated in the corporate rafting last year, and you have that coming back again this year.
We sure do. I mean, backed by popular demand. It was there was a lot of interest in rafting. There always has been in our corporate rowing program. So the rowing and the rafting and the dragon boating, the registration's underway.
Good.
It closes March 20th. So really encouraging folks to get on board. But the rafting is a blast. People had a lot of fun with that, and we see that continuing to grow along with our rowing. And new with rowing this year, we'll say we. For folks who live maybe on the west side of town, northwest side, Yukon, Mustang, we're starting programming at Lake Overholser for corporate rowing. So you can get involved and not have to drive all the way downtown and be in our corporate league. And so we think that we have beautifully renovated facilities out there. We really want to put them to use. That's where rowing began in Oklahoma City. So we're kind of going back to the roots and reinserting rowing into that whole venue. So
it's a good stretch, and we've talked about it last year. The whole preserve back there is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is beautiful. So it just adds more options for us to grow our program, and along with growing that corporate program, we can grow our youth leagues as well, getting into the schools out on the west side of town. So we're excited about that.
Well, all the stuff he mentioned, including this final week for corporate rafting and rowing signups, can be found on their website at riversportokc.org. One final question for you. Now that you got the rapids and the water looking all nice, St. Patrick's is coming up on Friday. Will you dye it green?
Well, I will tell you, we looked into it, but gosh, it took so long to get the water clear. I don't think we want to turn it green quite yet, but we'll leave all the options open in the future. I know that's our counterparts in Charlotte. Our friends out there, they've been doing green water, white water for the last several years, and it's very popular. So, I wouldn't rule it out, but we're not quite ready yet.
All right, Mike, as always, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, Dave.
And again, more information on all things at the Boathouse District at riversportokc.org.